Who do we have? Hey, Chris. It's nice to see you. Hey, Mustafa. I am. Um, I'm editing. My second week into editing. Never edited videos before. Technically, I'm not really editing. I'm making a video out of live streams. I was given a directive. Every directive, every directive that feels right, every directing that feels loving. Um, Mustafa says, Eric, love you, my friend. I love you too, Mustafa. Thank you so much. Every directive that feels loving, that intuitively feels right, is no matter who it comes from, no matter what words are given from someone else, in actuality come from the Holy Spirit. We're all messengers, portals for that higher wisdom to come. So, my channel has shifted quite a bit. I went early stages, I was doing my burpees, and then after burpees, I would sit and talk about yoga and breath work and, of course, miracles. Then I started live streaming and I talked about all kinds of stuff on live streams that I mainly wanted to do breath work and have fun. Chris says, Yogi, hello. Hello, Chris. Hey, Miss Flipper. But it evolved little by little by little. A lot of the times it evolved because of trouble. Um, Live streams can get messy for the best of us. And by live stream, it's just because of group dynamics. It's nothing personal. Everyone is simply and always doing their best, no matter what. Of course, the story that we tell is your best is not good for me. My best might not be good for you. It's just a story, our interpretation. So we keep insisting that our interpretation is the only one that matters, and it's just not the way it is. That's the nature of forgiveness. When I remember that everyone is offering their interpretation of the world, their interpretation of events, their interpretation of me, my job isn't to correct that interpretation. My job is to correct my own interpretation, just my own, no one else's. Um, when I do that, again, I get these little intuitive nudges, move in this direction, which is why I started bringing guests up. And then very recently, I was told by a great course teacher that my work was really only half done. I wasn't fulfilling my part of the mission, not the entirety. And what they meant was I was live streaming with guests, but hey, sometimes only 5 people will show up with a guest. Sometimes even those 5 people are chatting and they miss what the guest might be saying. It's absolutely fine. This really set me free. I don't care what happens in a chat anymore. By that, I don't mean I don't care about you. Like, hey, Lady Sky, I care about all of you, and I hope everyone gets along. But can't. I can't make sure that everyone gets along. I can't bridge the gap between people like that. I wish I could, but it is honestly, it's an impossibility. So if 5 people show up for a live stream, if 50 people show up for a live stream, it's all good, all of it, because what I'm supposed to do is go back to the live streams, capture the wisdom, the gems that were dropped by our guest, because it's meant for that person at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, who might be getting ready to pick up that drink after desperation, who might be devastated from a broken heart, who might have lost a loved one, who is just confused, is just down, is just lonely, is just suffering anxiety. These videos are meant for those people, including myself. We teach what we most need to learn. With that being the case, we teach what we most need to learn. It makes me feel like I'm a pretty awesome teacher because I got so much to learn. All right, that's done. dive into the chat with you guys. I got to bring it up to read the screen. Hey, Kat. Almost ready. So with that said, I will, as I announced earlier, I'm going to be open up my 5 a.m. slot. Not all the time, but it is open for those who can't make it, for guests to appear, especially through the winter. So Lady Sky came up this afternoon and gave Tiger King a great gift of a song. She gave us all a great gift of a song. I haven't heard her sing a full song for a little bit. Let's see. Eric, I'm curious to know who your upcoming guests are because I haven't been able to identify them. Please tell me who they are. I mean, Chris Neibauer and Dr. Sheila Patel. I'd love to. All right, Chris Neibauer is a author. No Self, No Problem. The subtitle is How Neuropsychology is Catching Up to Buddhism. He is a neuropsychologist. He's also a professor in Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania. He teaches a course on consciousness, mindfulness, left and right brain differences, and artificial intelligence. This book, hey, Coffee Cake, thank you. This was a wonderful book. And it does bridge that gap between the perceived gap between neuroscience and Buddhism, or even Advaita Vedanta. And it gives us a glimpse of that no self state that is our actual existence. So it's actually very much in tune with the Course in Miracles. Here he's equating a self, our notion of a self, with the ego, who we believe we are, that narrator in the mind that doesn't really truly exist. And when you experience that no self, it is extremely, extremely peaceful. Maybe he will even guide us through some examples, maybe a little self inquiry. I don't know. I'll ask him. He's coming up Saturday at 1. Friday, Dr. Sheila Patel. She taught me how to teach meditation. Her, Raja Gabriel, and Deepak Chopra. I'm a certified instructor through the Chopra Foundation, and she was the head medical advisor at the Chopra Foundation. She's a Western doctor as well as a Ayurvedic. Ayurveda is the sister science of yoga. She's an Ayurveda doctor, meditation and yoga instructor as well. She's an author of a brand new book called Awaken Sleep, using modern science and ancient Ayurvedic principles to get a better sleep. Coffee Cake, how are you? Guys, we're talking about singing. We're talking about voices. Go check out Coffee Cake's videos and listen to her sing. Voice of an Angel. Hey, Mohammed, my friend, how are you? So, Mustafa, I hope you get a chance to, I was asking people this morning, people who have difficulty sleeping. Daniel, it's nice to see you, my friend. Thank you, Coffee Cake. Semper says, let's have those likes. Hey, whenever you want to come up, Tiger King. Mustafa says they both sound great based on your description. I'll make sure I don't miss a live stream with them. And, I will have the clips and the videos. I actually found out how to make a video from my live streams, but it takes a little bit of planning. I found it out by accident, by mistake. Coffee Cake says, doing good. How are y'all? I'm good too, Coffee Cake. No pen wagging. I can make no promises. Hens were meant to be. Hens were meant to be wagged. What did I miss from Tiger King? Miss Whipper says, "Sorry to hear that." Tiger King. What did um? What did I miss from Tiger King? Oh, just that you know. Just that you know. May not. There we go. May not come up tonight. Had bad news. I'm down. Low can't stop crying. You can come up and talk about it if you want. But you and I have a deal. No pressure, so it's okay if you can't make it. Just take care of yourself. The 7Q. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of anyone being on Mount Rushmore. I want my mountains to be mountains. This guy says, "Okay, Yogi. Every time you penwipe, you will have to do the Elaine dance." I might make that deal. It's and the fastest internet in the world. Zipper says, "Ever heard a version that Jesus was not a poor carpenter, but an earthly rebel king of Edessa named Izas Menu, King Manu?" I have not heard that. No promises, Lady Sky. I was talking to a cat about dancing, suggesting that the magic and miracles of Jesus were actually part of a Gnostic fusion of spirituality and science taught in the mystery schools of Egypt and Alexander. I asked, I remember talking to Miss Flipper. We talked about this, right? Because legend has it that Jesus went to Tibet, he went to India during the missing years, he went to Egypt. I'm not sure he necessarily had to. Just another school for thought. You know, Judaism through Kabbalah had all the wisdom that was needed. So, what do you think of the theory, Sniper? What's up, says Eric? I've never in my life suffered from difficulty sleeping or anything like that. I'm grateful for that, of course. Yeah, it's absolutely miserable, Mustafa. Muhammad says the preparations here in Baghdad are very elaborate for the New Year's celebration. Hey, Muhammad, how's your family? Our friend Solana says, hard candy Christmas for me. I'm widowed, and my three grown boys are far away. Not a grandchild for me yet. Is anything in the nearby future, Solana? The connections to King Arthur too. Let's see. Mr. Sada Muhammad. And this guy says Christmas M&Ms are so good for a snack. Here, do you buy them? I do not buy them. They do make vegan M&Ms though, and they're pretty good. Technically, it's not too hard. Hey, Stitch, it's not too hard for anything chocolate to be vegan. Chocolate in and of itself, chocolate's a bean. It's a legume. So it's already vegan. It's only when they make milk chocolate, which isn't real chocolate, does it become non-vegan. Yasha says 8 days. 8 days. 8 days till Christmas. You excited, Yasha? Vegan M&Ms. Yep, they just take the milk out of the chocolate. Well, they don't take it out. They just don't put it in. My family is in Turkey and they are safe. They are fine. They will celebrate this year without me because of my work here in Iraq, my friend. They won't give me leave. I'm sorry about that, Mohammed. How's your mom doing? I wouldn't even try, Tiger King. Like I said, I've done 48 hours without sleep while I was racing. It's no fun. The worst part of those races, 100-mile races and 24-hour races, um, is the sleep deprivation. It takes weeks to catch up. Here's one thing Dr. Patel might tell you on Friday. Did you know that just one night of sleep deprivation and you enter into a pre-diabetic state? Just one night. Philip says, you look mad, inquisitive, my dude. But thank you. I'm just happy that I said inquisitive correctly the first time. Yes, it says, I just realized, shave your beard, Yogi. I've always had a beard. Every time you've ever been here. How did you miss that, man? It's always doing weird stuff. Hey, Nino. Nino, how are you? What's the trivia question for tonight, Nino? Yes, it says it's off too long. I was going to trim it today, but my beard trimmer was not charged. But I think it's just extra fluffy today. What do you guys think? Trim it, keep it growing. We'll find out. I'm going to find out what everyone thinks. It's been a while since we've done a poll. You decide. Your vote matters. Sorry that you're down, Tiger King. Muhammad says, my mother as well, and sends her greetings to you all. We will celebrate this year, just the two of us. She loves you very much, considers you one of her children. We love your mother too, Muhammad. Off centered too? No, actually, my beard is centered. My head is off centered. The beard is perfect, but my head, it's going in all kinds of different directions. This guy says, "Oh, don't be down, Tiger King." There you go. Yacha says, "Actually, screw it, grow it until Christmas." Jesus decides. Jesus says, doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. Miss Pippa says, blessings to your mother. This guy says, then I'll let down, Mr. Beard Yogi. Pippa says, Manchester City won. Tiger King says, thank you, but had family bad news. Sorry, Tiger King. Let's see. Mustafa says, Eric, let's talk about yesterday's Dove Fishman relationship and Marine Mondu. This is interesting for me. So, what do you think? What are you thinking, Mustafa? Man, sharp memory, by the way, to pick that up. Well, Dove Fishman has been, he's the longest, well, one of the longest. I think there's a few. But Dove Fishman is definitely one of the longest and going on 50 years. John Mundy's been even longer. He came across the course, I think, 73 before it was actually published. He was one of the first, if not the first student outside of the group. So anyway, when you've been teaching that long as Dove Fishman, you're going to make those connections with all kinds of people. Hawkeye, BJ, Major Houlihan, Frank Radar, Colonel Blake, Colonel Potter, Klinger, Father McCahey, Trapper, Charles, Igor, sorry, Norse Kelly, Sid Friedman. Hey, I got an interesting thing about Sid Friedman. Sergeant Rizzo, Colonel Flagg, Ugly John, Rosie, North Cutler. It's all the big ones. So I don't remember his first name. The guy that played Sid Friedman, Dr. Friedman, psychologist on MASH. His last name is Arbus. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Arbus. Think photography and let me know. Yeah, she says my ADHD is doing this. I also have OCD. Gotcha. My beard needs to be like Jesus's beard. I don't know if I could do that. If you see the bearded guy in the thumbnail, that's actually me in 1982, 83, 83. Mustafa says the relationship between them seems strong to me, as if to know each other better than others. Maybe between Dub and Maureen Mondoon. They've done classes together. I believe she has sat with Dove. I love the connections. I love the course connections. I feel so privileged to have stepped in a little bit to that inner circle. Sorry. Better yet, better said, I feel privileged that I was welcomed. Muhammad says, I'm sorry, my friend Yogi, for what my mother said. I apologize profusely. She considers herself a mother to all of you. Hey, Muhammad, you never have to apologize, my friend. Ever. Mustafa says, especially since the Fishman is an exceptional teacher. He really is. I got more clips to put out with him, and I want to invite him on probably in January. I don't know, maybe the week between Christmas and New Year's. I don't have, I think I only have one guest possibly coming up next week so far. I love sitting with Dove. I hope you have, I hope you had a chance to watch some of the clips that I made with him. Alan Arbus. Thanks. Thank you, Dino. Do you know his wife? Actually, they both passed away, but she ended up being his ex-wife. Diane Arbus, famous photographer. She took photos of carnival people. Carl says, I have a lot of guests, and Tina is one of them. But let me say a big hello to our friend Carl, and a big hello to Tina. Hi, Tina. Tina, I hope you're having a good night, my friend. Mustafa says, of course I watch them, and thank you for those clips. You're welcome, Mustafa, and thank you for watching them. Miss Ripper says, amazing photographer. She was. She caught the odd, the weird, the strange, and the just things that we don't want to look at, and forced you to look at it. I'm not even the least bit surprised that Miss Flipper, very avant-garde, by the way, our friend Miss Flipper, Muhammad Saba, and gives him a hug. Let's see. Scorch, did I say that right? It says, what do I think about chicken wings? I think they are essential for chickens. Chickens need their wings. They only fly in short bursts. I don't know if chickens ever really actually flew. They had to have flown, right? Eventually, at one time. But yeah, good for chickens having wings. Scorch says, I think I've eaten a whole chicken coop full of chicken wings in my life. It's a lot of chicken wings. Tempest is cooked or flapping in the wind. Carl says, I've trained drivers and bus drivers. Tell them all I said hi, Carl. Each and every one, individually. You don't mind shaking their hands and saying hello. Yogi says hi, and then just up one and down the next aisle. Which animal spoke to Balaam? A lamb? As it says, you look like a cave guy. Very perspective of you. I am a big fan of caves and cave guys. You know, all the monks, all the outlaws. Think of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and the Hole in the Wall gang. That was the name of their gang. What's a hole in a wall? It's a cave. Probably didn't know that. Yeah. Wise men, sages, saints, the yogis, all the yogis hung out in caves. Caves featured in Tom Robbins' Jitterbug Perfume. The Bandaloops, an ancient tribe known for their longevity, immortals, actually. And they got to be immortals with taking hot baths and specific breath work, as well as dancing and singing, and most importantly of all, laughing. Remember the tiny mad idea that never occurred? Only because we remember not to laugh. We remember to laugh, we realize that we are not separate from God. Some people used to call Jesus the laughing God. Way back, the Gnostics, as a matter of fact. Anyway, the Bandaloops had long vanished. They had left this plane because they were immortal. They never left completely, but they left this plane of existence to go elsewhere. They were tired, fed up with this world. Hard to blame them. And this is centuries ago. Things were much better back then, easier. When King Alabar, dramatic warrior, exiled from his kingdom, him and his paramour wandered into the caves because they wanted to cheat death. And yet the Bandaloops were gone. But the vibrational quality within that cave of the chanting, of the singing, of the hot baths, of the breath work, all the information was there, vibrating in the walls of the cave. So they went into a deep state of meditation and received all of the information they needed. They picked up that practice and they too became immortal. Why? It actually goes into the beard. It ties into King Alabar's beard. During that reign in that kingdom, they prioritized youth. And when a king started getting old, when he showed the first gray hair in their beard, they killed him. And a new king. No one ever questioned that before. Hey, Dees, welcome, my friend. Um, he didn't like that. The first king ever, King Alabar, said, I don't like that at all. So he had one of his many wives hide. They dyed his beard, they plucked out the white hairs, but eventually it was discovered and he faked his death and he went wandering looking for immortality. He stumbled upon Pan, the Mesopotamian god of wild things, flute playing, and fertility. So anyway, yeah, caves. They're pretty cool. Yogis, yogis aren't about beards. Muhammad says, I translated your reply to my mother in Arabic, and she smiled, happily saying, I wish, Yogi, that you were near so I could give you a real mother's hug. Bless you, my son. Bless you too. Bless you too. What a sweet reply. Thank you, Muhammad, and thank you to your mom. Mustafa says, Eric, I'm writing down in my diary some important phrases that you guess say out loud. That's awesome, Mustafa. Hey, you ever want to share them sometime? I can watch live without feeling tired or bored many times. I appreciate hearing that. Samper says, only those that struggle to grow beards complain about another man's beard. I found that to be true. You think anyone ever made fun of Dan Haggerty's beard? Dan Haggerty. Nino, you still here? What do you know about Dan Haggerty? He says, I have had a pretty cool beard and I always have to muscle myself to trim it. I'm due to trim. I'm due to trim at least my mustache. Many races in history still today cannot grow facial hair. Wonder why that is. Mike says beard keeps skin all nice when you shave it off. Feel fresh and clean only once in a while. I just trim mine down. Sometimes I'll trim it all the way down to like stubble. Welcome in, Mike. They are known in all places, associated beards with the overseers. Overseers. Love involves a peculiar, unfathomable combination of understanding and misunderstanding. Diane Arbus. Thank you for that, Miss Whipper. I had a friend. Hey, Charlie. Oh, my bald headed wizard. You're half right. I'll let you guess which half. I had a friend who was in college at the time, majoring in photography, photojournalism to be exact. And he introduced me to Diane Arbus, as well as Mapplethorpe. I'm not a big Mapplethorpe fan. Maybe I should revisit. Tipper says Sumerian gods that came after wooden beards depicting their devotion to the gods. This is just saying. Do you have a beard now, Deeds? Mustafa says, of course, I'd love to appear with them. It would make me very happy, but only when I have free time. Because right now I'm in the car listening to you, going to visit some children with cancer. Mustafa, you are a good man, my friend. Much respect and much love. So the plan is definitely 1 hour on the live stream. He says, nah, trimmed it almost clean, so I look professional. Well, I look like a professional beard grower. Mustafa says, I never imagined all this responsibility in this job, believe me, Eric. I bet, Mustafa. But you're doing good work. If anyone is. Hey, Rush thing. A Rush. A Rush. A Rush. Hello. Welcome back. Sorry that I mangled your name. Mustafa says, since I've been given the responsibility, of course, I am proud of it, but I think I must accept it. Funny you said that because a lot of guests and a lot of things I've been reading talk about those big yeses when life offers you something. I can't say that I'm fully in that position yet. Muhammad says, okay, guys, I should go right now. Make food for my mom. Much love and big, huge God bless you all. Amen. Amen, my friend. Thank you, Muhammad. Love to you. Love to your mother. Love to your family. Miss Flipper, are you still here? He says, are you an atheist? I am not an atheist. But I also don't believe in the same God that atheists believe in. Mustafa says, thank you, Muhammad. All my love to you and your family. Thank you, Mustafa. Yeah, so Mustafa, whenever you think you have free time, bring your notebook up. Are you a fan of John Mapplethorpe? What are my views on religion? I try not to have views on religion. Or at least I try to realize that my views on religion don't really matter. Not a single view that I have will ever affect anyone who is Robert. I'm sorry, you're right, Robert Mapplethorpe. Um, Not a single view I have will cause anyone to believe something or make anyone not believe. So I really don't talk about religion that much. I try to demonstrate my faith more than anything else, and I hope that I do. Steph says as well. I'm talking about that because one of the biggest fans of everything old um, from my time in the '60s. So you like the '60s? Let's see. So Beer says, and you call you Empire Ottoman, but it's actually a woman because you cry. Well, that's an excellent point. I will take that under consideration. Let's see. Look, Turk. I'm trying to see your comments. Your races mix. That's a lot of reading. I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. Nothing personal. Mustafa says the best times humanity has ever known was the 1960s. Believe me, Eric, it might have been some of the best music, if not the best music ever. Any decade that featured the Beatles as their soundtrack. Not that, rock and roll was born in the 1950s. I guess you could trace its earliest origins in the late 1940s. Um, but man, there was something magical about '60s, right? We get a this is the amazing energetic Joshua. Hello, everyone here. Hey, Joshua. I saw that you were kung fu fighting earlier. Hey, Seraphim, I'm bored at the moment. My cat literally always just sits on my head. I love the hate and purring sensation. Highly recommend it. Oh, the heat. The heat. Joshua says, hey, that's okay, Seraphim. I don't think my cat would fit comfortably on my head. Either one of my cats. I have not done the. I haven't done the voice thing. I don't know that as I actually have that. Hey, do you all have the new voice text thingy? Hey, R, how are you? Joshua says, yes, I was enjoying myself doing a kung fu fight dance. Looking pretty sharp there, Joshua. Now, having been alive in the 1970s, I want to clear up a little bit of misinformation. Not everyone was kung fu fighting. That is clearly misinformation. I was there. I've seen it myself. Not everyone was kung fu fighting. Some people were disco ducking. Nope. Sorry, Miss Flipper. You were there too. You know better than this. Miss Flipper, let me ask you a question. Were you kung fu fighting in the 1970s? Be honest. Don't just say yes. Were you actually kung fu fighting? Hey, Mustafa, you were in the 70s, right? Mustafa, were you kung fu fighting? Now, I'll tell you what, in the 1970s, I was in the Navy and I was a macho man. I did not stay at the YMCA though. Miss Flipper says yes, 100%. I just don't believe you. Sorry, Miss Flipper. Miss Flipper, my Monday afternoon partner, I believe everything she says about A Course in Miracles. I value her opinion on all matters of life, but I do not believe that she was kung fu fighting in the 1970s. Mustafa wasn't kung fu fighting. Dookie says MCAS was fast as lightning. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. We are going live, Tiger King, on. It's on her page. We said the 22nd, right? 3 days before Christmas. We're going to sing Christmas songs. I did do the bump. That was in the 1970s. That was the only dance move I could actually do. But I was pretty busy in the 1970s. In the 1970s, you could probably tell by the way I walked. I was a ladies' man, no time to talk. I did not do the hustle. But I was given a directive. They kept telling me, do the hustle. I felt bad. Do the hustle. You know what else I did? I rocked the boat. And I rocked the boat and I rocked the boat. And guess what I also did? I tipped the boat over. They told me not to. They said, don't tip the boat over. You don't tell this guy what to do. I'll tip the boat over. Hey, Environment. Thank you, Environment. I appreciate that. Kamari, how are you? Joshua says, Yogi, I would do the Macho Man dance after he live stream. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Is it going to be a short, Joshua? Joshua says, don't rock the boat. I will rock the boat. I'm a rebel. I survived the 1970s, 10 years. I survived 5 years in the 1960s. Some people say the 60s ended the Rolling Stones rock concert at Altmount, where they hired the Hells Angels to be security. Things went wrong. Why would things go wrong? What made Mick Jagger think nothing's going to go wrong? I'm going to hire a bunch of Hells Angels and I'm going to pay them in LSD and alcohol. What could go wrong? So some say in that little bit of violence took place in August, I believe, 1969, was the end of the 1960s. Me, having been alive in the 1960s, if I recall correctly, for me, the 1960s ended December 31st, 1969. Kumar says, Yogi, sir, don't trim me a beard. Thank you, Kumar. I was ordered earlier to trim my beard, but I appreciate your support. I haven't even checked out the poll. How am I doing? Did my poll even post? I don't see it. Let's see. Sniper says untying yellow ribbons. Only around the non-oak trees, like pine trees, elm trees, willows. I would not abide yellow ribbons around any other tree except for old oak trees. Joshua says, yes, the Macho Man dance will be in short order. You going to be the construction worker? Are you going to be the Indian chief? Are you going to be the cowboy? Joshua says, Yogi, I've done the math, but I forgot. But I will say this, I have survived 1 year, each year, and every year after that. And even before that, possibly. Double check the math. I wonder how come none of us sang that on our past karaoke nights. One of the best karaoke songs ever. What is Tony Orlando up to? I know he's still alive. You know, he was best friends with Freddie Prinze. Mandela effect. Which one, Sniper? Hey, Michael. Michael, how are you? Hey, Michael. I want to thank you. Joshua says, I'm not sure who I want to be. You are the amazing, energetic Joshua. Miss Pippa says, butterfly effect. Which one is it? I gotta take my supplement, guys. I'm getting low. Oh. Just which one I will be because I don't have all of the attire. The guy says, do you smoke? Do I smoke weed? I do not. Obviously, I probably don't need to. Chris says, hi to Joshua. Michael says, I'm doing good, and you're very welcome, Yogi. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you, my friend. Tiger says, get my message. Oh, there you go. Miss Flipper is like Bruce Lee. Don't believe it. Hey, Tiger King. Miss Flipper says, best compliment given me. Long John, how are you? Joshua says, Chris, so amazing. She is amazing. I hope you join us next week when we come up. We're going to sing TV theme songs, Christmas songs. I think Chris said she was going to dance again. Did I hear that correctly? She said something about dancing. I see my selective memory is saying Chris said she was going to dance again. Michael says, I could say the same for you, Yogi. Thank you, Michael. Only military was Navy, no Army. And the village people? Yeah, I only thought there was Navy. There was the construction worker, there was the Indian chief, there was the Was there a Navy guy? I don't remember. What if all the village people are still around? Chris says, thank you, Joshua. How nice to say. Joshua's a great guy. Joshua says TV theme songs. Yeah, we'll be doing that. I haven't sung in a while. Chris, I'm out of singing shape. Tiger King says Nature Dog best and Lady Sky best singer on here. Definitely, really good. I'm gonna throw Coco, our friend Coco, in there as well. Toy Pup's an amazing voice. Chris says Tiger King, you're so kind. Oh, yeah, there. I think there was a fireman. Let's look this up. Michael says, "Dang it! Now Ryan it's stuck in my head." Guys, we're gonna look it up. Our job is done, by the way. We have YMCA planted in Michael Burkeen's mind. I don't even know how to ask this question. What figures were the All right, we had a cop. We forgot the cop. Cowboy, construction worker, Native American biker. There you go. And soldier sailor. Says it was both. Sniper. They were created to represent gay fantasy personas from New York City's Greenwich Village, hence the Village People, for a disco audience with original members including Victor Willis, Alex Riley, Brandy Jones, Glenn Hughes, David Hodo, and Felipe Rose. Boy, they didn't even get a real Native American. Well, that sucks. Macho Man in the Navy, go West YMCA. '77, '79, that was their heyday. All right, guys. Now we know. This paper says hell of an earworm. It is. Fortunately, it is not stuck in my head. It is stuck in Michael's head. Sorry, Michael. Joshua says Lady Sky is a protective soul. She's a wonderful friend. Fireman says Lady Sky is good, but Toy Peps is next level. I would say just different. Hopefully, someone does Three's Company. Chris and I have done Three's Company. We actually do that pretty well, Chris. Tiger King says recently, like Miss Flipper all day long, Eric. Not buying it, Tiger King. Hey, Long John, if you hang out with us on, I believe, the 22nd, we will do Three's Company just for you. Michael says it could be worse. I could have the safety dance stuck in my head. Uh, Sniper tried to get that stuck in her head earlier today. Pretty close. Sniper says the Mandela effect regarding the YMCA involved beliefs that the village people performed the iconic arm swirling dance in their original 1978 music video. So that came later. You're welcome, Lady Sky. You've proven time and time again to be a really good friend. You're always concerned and caring for everyone in the live stream, for me as well. You've never had a bad thing to say about anybody. Anybody. Hey, Mike. Mike, how are you? Miss Pippa says, usually my earworms leave voluntarily when I play the tune. There are exceptions, however. Which one tends to linger? Or maybe you don't want to mention it. Michael says, all good, guys. Long just says, it's fun to stay. To YMCA. Like, you mentioned this with Adam the other day, didn't you? Rosalia's new Mio Christos. That's about as close I'm going to get to pronouncing any of that. This guy says, if it's okay if I show off my cooking skills to Yogi. What do you mean, Lady Sky? Frankie King says, Lady Sky is so nice. Oh my God, well, she is nice. Chris says she would love to see that next week. I'll make, oh, definitely, definitely. I'm making a dessert for Christmas. Dessert. Oh, 100%, Lady Sky. Just let us know when you want to do it. Zipper says, in the original, they just clapped a hand. Makes no sense whatsoever. Clapping the hands. Longton says, 22nd, I'm there. So throw out a theme song you want us to do. Because we now feature kazoos. We can do it all. We are a multifunctional band. We have dancing, not by me. We have singing. We have instrumentals. We have solos. We have duos, duets. It means my Christ cries diamonds. That's beautiful. Next Wednesday afternoon. You got it. Gotcha says, guys, if I have an earworm, I'll use tweezers, pull it out, and feed it to my friend's bird. That's how to do it. That's one way to do it. Michael says, know what's an even worse song to get stuck in your head? The Macarena. You ever get a dance stuck in your feet? You just can't help but doing the Macarena? Like wherever I go, I'm in a store, in a library, out taking a walk, and all of a sudden I get that Macarena stuck in my feet. Or the hustle stuck on your feet. Can you do UK? I don't know any, Tiger King. I don't know any. I can do the Benny Hill song on a kazoo. You know what, Mike? Chris and I have been hesitant to do All in the Family. Although it would be a nice tribute to Rob Reiner. Because nowadays it might seem a little controversial. Miss Pippa says, going all Ricky Martin on us. Hot desert day. What's the temperature there, environment? Chris says, Mike, all in the family. Affectionately known as Meathead. Think of the wonderful movies that he made, that he directed. Harry Met Sally. Um, Stand By Me. Uh, Princess Bride. Who doesn't love Princess Bride? Benny Hill is Yakety Sax. Is that the name of the song? Mike says, I'm a music guy. I know. A very talented music guy. Eric, was he really an ex stripper? Say true, please. I got to leave it to your imagination, Tiger King. I have had tiramisu. Stand By Me is my favorite film. That was Rob Reiner. Mike says Princess Bride was awesome. Best thing Andre the Giant ever did. And of course, like I said, when Harry Met Sally, his father, Carl Reiner, comedy legend, he was Dick Van Dyke's boss in the Dick Van Dyke Show. Let me bring up Rob Reiner's films. So many great ones. He did A Few Good Men, Stand By Me, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally. He did Misery. Man, every one of those movies is someone's favorite movie. How awesome is that? Oh man, how can we forget this? This is Spinal Tap. Who doesn't love This is Spinal Tap? Those are his most celebrated film. He did The American President. That wasn't bad. The Bucket List. That wasn't bad. But that's an amazing body of work. This is Spinal Tap. The Sure Thing. Stand By Me. Princess Bride. When Harry Met Sally. Misery. A Few Good Men. He will be missed. He will definitely be missed. Environment says tiramisu is yum. As you wish. Favorite line from The Princess Bride. I didn't know that, Miss Flipper. Tiramisu means to lift up. Michael says inconceivable. Tiger King says, Skits, do you think Eric was an ex stripper? Who do you think got me in the business? Who do you think was my manager? Mike says, I love the 70s show. That was a good show. I liked it too. Every once in a while, I'll catch it on repeat. Lady Sky said, love Misery movie. It was a great book too. Was says, do you specialize in necromancy? I wouldn't say I specialize in it. Am I the next level wizard? Nope. I'm low level, man. Low level. Bob Schneider. What about Bob Schneider? Yeah, I agree, Lady Sky. He will be missed. Skid says, I don't know. Oh, he knows. He knows. He was a film director, Tiger King, and an actor. Hey, Pop Tarts, how are you, my friend? Mike says, my friends, I haven't seen Lucy in a while. Anyone know if she's okay? Lucy Warren. I have not seen Lucy in quite some time. I suspect she's okay. Tiger King says so. Is you Eric's boss? When he was an ex-stripper. Didn't say boss, they said manager. Skid says he was working off a debt. And if you've seen me dancing, you know it took a long time to pay that debt off. Pop Tart says, my fellow YouTubers, Mike and Nancy, second finally got the Canadian goodies Christmas box they sent to Ohio. Weeks late. We love UPS. Well, I'm glad it arrived. Chris Pippa says, I haven't seen Lucy around either. I'm sure she will pop up on a live stream. On one of her live streams. Popto says, Venus and Sir Michael. Tiger King says, Google Man is sniper all day long. What do you mean there, Tiger King? Was that a very nice thing to say? Eileen dancing from Yogi very soon. We will see him dance. I'm hoping we're going to see Chris dance again. Longjen says, don't tell you so short, my golden god. But that was Grateful Dead dancing. Entirely different. Environment says, I quit movies years ago and see them as very intruding on our subconscious, creating a lot of unnecessary work, deprogramming. That's interesting. Do you think that's all movies, Environment? I know our friend David Hoffmeister loves to use movies as metaphors for teaching A Course in Miracles. Michael says, I don't need that image of Yogi as a stripper in my head. Hey, put the YMCA song back in your head and get me dancing. Now it's going to be stuck in your ears, stuck in your eyes. Maharashi, my friend, how are you? Hey, Zoin, welcome back. Popto says, squirrel greetings from Ottawa, Canada. Lady Sky says she's doing okay. Just been busy with things to Mike and Venus. Tiger King says, not just asking. Do you get long answers? Agree with that all. Tiger King says, X-Strip Eric in hot pants. No, I was actually, they demanded that I was fully clothed at all times. Like fully. From toes up to my head. I had to wear a hat. I had to wear earmuffs, scarves. Mike says, thanks for letting me know, Lady Sky. Who says welcome in return? Hey, Danny. Danny, I took it about 10 minutes ago, my friend. Thank you. Long says, Yogi, you should have YMCA workout naked. Man, I shudder at the thought of me doing my kettlebell workout naked. So much could go wrong. Maharashi says, Yogi, YouTube family, please support. We got you back, Maharashi. Hey, Maharashi, do you have a video? Do you have a link you want to drop that you want to share with us? How do I do the helicopter fully closed? It was one of my tricks. Sarasika says, maybe bring out mashed peas again. Sidetrack. Mashed peas does the trick of getting me sidetracked every time. Pop Tart says, my homeless friend is still here. I won the lottery yesterday and treated him to a nice steak dinner with onions, mushrooms. The weather is warming up until Sunday. We'll be okay outside a few days. I'm glad for the warm weather. I'm glad you won the lottery, and I'm glad you did something so awesome with it. Miss Pippa says Yogi's missing years at Chippendale practice from the age of 33 to the age of 33. Hey, Cora. Cora, how are you? Thank you, Maharasian. Guys, my favorite nature channel, my favorite birder, Cora Bird, is here. I hope everyone is connected with Cora. Long just says, what a beautiful sight, Yogi. What a beautiful sight. Mike says, at least I saw a smile. You did. Way too much talk about nudity and not enough about mushy peas, mashed peas. You're right about that. I have about a 4-pack, Tiger King. Of course, as I posted a couple holiday treats, I'm looking forward to seeing it. So I agree. I agree with our friend Starseeker. Cora, I'm bringing your channel up for right after I end the live. Merry Christmas, my friend Tom. Wasn't a King's Ransom $200? Every penny helps these days. Hey, winning the lotto, no matter what, that's pretty big. And I agree, every penny counts. Danny says, Yogi should do what Gilbert does when he's done burpees. He goes into cold water and basket. I used to. Not even that long ago. Right before COVID, I would do cold plunges. The thing is, as you get a little older, that cold stays with you for a longer period of time. Cora drops a link, guys. I hope you go check it out. Beautiful. Christmas lights, guys. I see our friend Chris beat us there. You know what? 1 minute ago, Chris was there. Tells you everything you need to know about Chris. Everything you need to know about Nature's Dog Realms. She saw someone pop in. She went to the channel. She checked them out. She liked and left a beautiful reply on someone's video. X-Stripper, how much was dance off you then? No one would dance off with me. They were scared. Mashed peas are safe word. All right, I like that. Happy holiday to you, Cora. Hey, is everyone here connected with Cora? Tiger King says, I hate mashed peas. I'm not fond of it either, Tiger King. Well, thank you, Matthew, for that information. Hey, Gold Lover. Danny says hi to Star Seeker. Pop Tart says fresh brewed Tim Hortons coffee, holiday Pop Tarts for all. Thank you, my friend. I have had Tim Hortons coffee, and it is really good. Chris says, Cora, great Christmas shorts. Cora is an artist. Make sure you check out her bird videos, her bird shorts. Amazing, amazing captures. Miss Pippa says, thank you. I've outgrown Matthew humor. Does not take long, does it? Danny waves at Environman. Pop Tart says, Corbird, season's greetings from Ottawa, Canada, eh? I've never been to Ottawa. I've been to Quebec City, Montreal City. I've been to Toronto. I've been to Calgary. I've been to Banff. Beautiful. I had hoped to see a bear, but I did not. Hey, little Joe. Evening Yogi in chat. Much love to you, Joe. Of course, Slow from the USA. Zephyr says some have a Miss Ripper. Nope, some have not. Starseeker subscribe. Thank you, Starseeker. Of course, never been to Canada. I love Canada. Always one of my favorite places to visit. I've been to Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. We drove up to Bar Harbor, took a ferry over to Nova Scotia. From Nova Scotia, we drove up US route, well, not US because it's in Canada, but Route 1. US Route 1 goes all the way from the Keys to Nova Scotia, the tip of Nova Scotia. That's pretty amazing. Michael says, never been to Canada, but I have friends from there. Subbed up, as the kids say. Thank you, Tom. Starseeker says, just dropped in, everyone. Have a Zoom meeting to go to. Hello, everyone. Good night. You wonderful people. Blessings. Blessings to you, Starseeker. We're going to shut things down in just a minute or two, guys. Tomorrow afternoon, I have our friend Diona Fusen coming up. We're going to talk A Course in Miracles and sobriety. How they go together. We'll talk about them separately as well. We'll answer questions. We will probably talk about her path to sobriety. We can talk about my path to sobriety. Hers is pretty harrowing. Mine was filled with a lot of grace. We get the lessons that we get. Tiger King says 43, 7 subs away from 50. Going live, Eric. You're getting there. I think everyone's here subscribe to you, Tiger King. But if you're not, subscribe to our friend Tiger King. Long Jet says, Cora, subscribe. That was a beautiful sunset. Danny says, hi to Chris. Cora says, oh, thank you. Michael says, congrats to Tiger King. That's a good milestone. It is. It is. Michael, speaking of milestones, Michael's only hours away from hitting, what was it, 2K watch hours? Of course, says she is subscribed to Tiger King. Great. Tiger King says, thanks. Yes, so tomorrow afternoon is going to be Diona. Friday, as mentioned one more time, we have Dr. Sheila Patel, who is author of the going to be a bestseller. It's inching its way up. Won't surprise me if it's a top 10 New York Times bestseller. Awaken Sleep. It is a blend of modern and Ayurvedic wisdom on getting a better night's sleep, a restorative, restful night's sleep, as well as turning it into a spiritual practice. And then Saturday, Chris Neibauer, who is a neuropsychologist. He wrote No Self, No Problem. And we're going to talk. No self. What does it mean, no self? And why no self equals no problems? I hope you guys show up. I hope you have questions for both of them. Next week, I will have a guest talking A Course in Miracles. But it's going to be early. I'm opening up the 5 a.m. slot for some guests when it's the only time that we have together. Hey, Miss Flipper, do you know Leon Joel Russell? He's going to be up early in the morning. Of course, says, I appreciate you so much. We appreciate you, Cora. Tiger King says, you've been dead quick. Who's that? And Michael says, yep, only 50 hours away from reaching 2K sub watch hours. 10 subs away from reaching 700. Awesome, Michael. Awesome and well deserved. Chris Ripper says, can't say I do. He did some great podcasts, Course of Miracles, and he's had some pretty big names up there. Take care, Corey. Tiger King says to Long John, no, he's feeling down. Long John had asked if he's doing okay. Mary says, I'm working here, but I want to say hi. Thank you, Mary. Mary, I hope you're having a good day at work. I hope the gigs are flying by. Jenny says, it's amazing Puppy Mommy not here yet. She has not been on live streams. Redeemer, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. She hasn't been doing many live streams. I did get a chance to exchange some messages, some texts with her earlier. She's got a lot going on. She does pop in. She spams some hearts when she's able to. Longshot says, Tiger King, me too, but we can lift each other up. We're praying for you, bud. Thank you, Longshot. Michael says, I've been putting tons of stories out now that I'm no longer coughing. Awesome, Michael. Redeemer, my friend, again, thank you so much. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. I'm going to go to bed a little bit early. I got a little more work to do before I go to bed. We will be back at 5 in the morning. I hope you guys can join me. Speaking of that, Long John was here this morning at 5, as was Sniper, and at 5:25. Pretty amazing. Tiger King, Eric, since I've been on your live a few days ago, you know what I find brilliant? You have not mentioned the gates to me. Thank God, it's absolutely wonderful. Well, I think you've been practicing them better, Tiger King. You don't seem to be as defensive to a lot of things. Hey, Duke City. You too, my friend. I don't know why Duke City's not a moderator. He was at one time. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Jesse says, what's the meaning of life? It's a big question. It's a big question. I think it's going to depend on each person, but I think it all comes down to love in an unconditional way, meaning that we literally see the face of Christ within another. Thank you, Sniper, to walk each other home. Longton says, Sniper, yes, indeed. Yogi, we love you, man. We love you a lot. Long John, I appreciate that. Miss Flipper says the gates. Michael says, you two sometimes unmod people without you knowing. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. We're ending the live stream, but come on back. We do talk about some of the big issues quite a bit. Hope to see you tomorrow, one of the live streams. If our friend Selma was here, she would say, don't forget, 5, 1, and 5:25. That's when we're live. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care.